on one end. Can you imagine? By the way, Rudy Hatfield was not able to respond to that switch.
Hatfield from the outside. He responds with a jumper. Yun yung maganda, no? Pagka naisahan ka sa isang dulo, bawi lang kagad sa kabila.
Now Hatfield again on Joe Devant. Let's see what he does. It's a snapshot.
Doesn't work. Baguio almost with a stick back. Hatfield clears the board. And look at him bring that leather down. Tubid. 3H bomb. They go back to Tubid. Outside jumper. Three-pointer is good. And Coach Tim Cone having some words for his boys on the floor. Definitely disappointed with the way they've started here. He calls timeout. They're down by 10, 16-6. Last Friday, also here at the Big Dome, Willie Miller was off target. Kaya naman, no thrill here at the Araneta as Barangay Ginebra went down in defeat by 3 points.
And coming off that timeout, we noticed that Barangay Ginebra went on a full-court press just to vary the defense, so just keep Alaska off rhythm and guessing.
So that's 2 timeouts now that Barangay Ginebra has been shifting their defense.
Iniiba nila, depensa nila. I think basically they want to be able to play man-to-man because they need a man on Joe Devant. And that's Rudy Hatfield's assignment this game.
Cyrus Baguio gets that first one to go. 2 for 2 for Cyrus as he cuts the deficit to 8. Taking a look at the field goal shooting so far.
Well, Barangay Ginebra going much better. Oh, look at that hang-tie move.
Not enough air, though, for Ronald Tubid as Alaska is out on the run. Baguio recovers and gets fouled by Mike Cortez. So with Alaska struggling from the field so far, they've been pounding it inside, trying to rush things, and they have gotten to the free throw line.
And that's right. They were able to get opportunities to run the break.
As we head down court to Gino.
Thanks, Magoo. Alaska assistant coach Luigi Trio told me before tip-off that they are expecting Ginebra to change things up in this game. They believe Coach Jong will have his team challenge Alaska close to the basket. Coach Luigi also said they are concerned about 2 major things. Willie Miller, who they expect to bounce back in this game, and also the rebounding department as the Kings out-rebounded the Aces in Game 1. Magoo and Kinito.
Thank you, Gino. And these are a couple of the things you've been pointing out, Senor.
That's right. And, you know, interesting now that Mark Kagiwa is in the game along with Willie Wilson. So Rudy Hatfield taking a break.
And Kagiwa announces his presence with a teardrop.
And he's Mr. Instant Offense. You call Kagiwa from the bench, you want a spark. And he delivers.
Kaya naging the spark talaga.
Oh, exactly.
That was his original role when he was a rookie. He was the off-the-bench guy.
Yep.
Baguio in trouble, gets to De La Cruz. Corner pocket jumper is good.
See the way, yung execution nila, no? The way they look at each other and pass the ball, and the players finding their spots.
And if there was just a sole stat of just the baseline jumpers for De La Cruz, malamang nasa 80% to, basta libre, no?
Oh. He always beats his man to the spot. Oh, I always look for a player who's able to beat his defender to the spot where he wants to take a shot. If you saw Eric Meng.
Kagiwa, top of the K3. Quick release doesn't work. Tenorio, the overworked point guard of Alaska, pushes the action. Tenorio finds some daylight, buries that one.
Nice screen set up there for LA Tenorio.
18-14, 4 unanswered points now coming from Alaska. This is actually an 8-2 run for the Aces. Here's Wilson. Had a huge Game 1, doesn't get his first shot here in Game 2. Baguio surveys the floor. He's up against 4, make that 5. Doesn't get that one. Enrico Villanueva with the board. Miller now. Pirouettes. Passes off to Wilson. Gets the layup.
Now what made that possible was Enrico Villanueva getting the defensive board and throwing the outlet. If Ginebra has space, then they have opportunities to pass the ball and get open shots.
Joe Devance having a tough time from the field so far in this game. Gets another miss. Willie Miller now against two. They go around. Gagiwa to Tubid for his zone version of a three. Bang!
Outside shooting going well here for Barangay Ginebra. Already with 3 3-point conversions. Alaska, none.
Big 5-0 run to break the silence for the Gin Kings. It is another 9-point lead. Toss from the baseline. Hindi naman siya si De La Cruz, so mintis.
Notice also the change in defensive assignments. I saw Ronald Tubid now up against Cyrus Baguio, not Willie Miller. Let's see whether the assignment will continue. Baguio
trying to work against Willie Wilson. They put a bigger man now, and now off the switch, it's Enrico. Baguio.
Oh, yes.
What a three-pointer in the face of Villanueva. 23-17 is the score. 2 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Here's the Thriller trying to get that back. Pang-apat na yan, ano? The three-pointer for
Those
Ginebra.
are hot guns. Firing away from the outside. That's going to make Coach Tim Cone think twice about how they play defense against Barangay Ginebra. They've got to extend. Perimeter shooters are ablaze.
Toss, kick out pass, De La Cruz for a three. What a shootout we are having here at Cubao. Miller against three. Fouled on the pass. The sideline inbound coming the way of the Gin Kings. As we head into this next ceasefire, it is still the Gin Kings by 6, 26-20. The Thriller, Willie Miller, starting to make things happen for the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings. And this is what we were trying to point out earlier back in Game 1 last Friday. Also here at the Big Dome, there was no Thriller, as Miller had one of his worst offensive games of the season thus far.
When you take a look at what he did from 3-point distance, 0 out of 5. Already he's got one conversion right here.
So lamang na kagad, ano, dun sa kanyang 2 points in that game, a conference low for a former 2-time MVP. But things are looking good right now for the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings. They are up by 6 as we see on the floor for the very first time in the PBA, John Wilson, a former NCAA MVP.
It's interesting that Coach Joseph Ichico's inserting someone who has never played at all this conference in this big game.
And he only got into the lineup, he only broke into the lineup last game, nung Game 1. He was suited up for the Gin Kings, didn't get to play, pero finally the PBA dream comes through for John Wilson.
Baka naman ninilito ni Ichico si Coach Tim Cone kasi dalawang Wilson yan, yung Willie at saka si John.
Ang hirap nga, dalawa na Wilson, dalawa pa Willie.
Oo nga, no?
Kaya baga tumatawag sa bench, nalilito, itong si Willie Wilson. 26-21, L.A. Tenorio. Trying to keep the Aces within striking distance of this hot start by the Gin Kings. Last game, the Kings gave up 104 points against Alaska. And to think, you already mentioned it, Ginebra is the #1 defensive team here in the PBA.
It looks like a jump ball situation as that ball got wedged in. Talking about John Wilson, he stands 6 feet flat. He's from Binangonan. Played for, of course, Jose Rizal University. 23 years old. Played also in the PBL for Oracle and Fern C.
He's had a solid amateur career.
His wingspan is close to 80 inches.
Wow.
That's not too bad.
He once scored 47 in the NCAA against our good friend Richard Del Rosario and the CSP Blazers.
All right.
I was there for that game. Si Richard, galit na galit sa players niya. Kala ko, atakin sa puso. 28-22 now. Long two coming from the Kings. Tenorio trying to dribble out of trouble. Finds De La Cruz underneath, has it slapped away. At tumama do sa ilalim ng backboard. Bola out of bounds in favor of Ginebra. So still a 6-point lead for the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings. Coming up on half a minute remaining now in this opening quarter. Wilson, his first touch. Goes through a Hatfield pick. His pass broken up by Tenorio. Basang-basa ni Teniente.
A little tentative on the part of Wilson. Naninibago, you can see. He's afraid to make mistakes. He's a rookie.
Playoffs pa, no?
Oh.
Ang debut mo. As
Oh,
Kagiwa,
what a pass.
one guy who is not afraid, finishes with a left hand.
Absolutely precise pass. Bounce pass coming from Rico Villanueva. That deserves a second look. You watch it right there. Wide open lane there for Kagiwa. Had to improvise using the left hand.
The spark parting the Red Sea of defenders there of Alaska. He completes the three-point play. 31-22 is the score. Barangay Ginebra back ahead by 9. Tenorio wanting to milk the clock for the last shot, but Barangay Ginebra has a bunch of fouls to give.
That's also one reason why Wilson was checked in during the first quarter. He's got 6 fouls to give. He's now up against Tony De La Cruz, who's been hot in this game. De La Cruz with 5 points, including a 3-pointer.
Parang karir din ni Richard yun, ha? You've got 6 fouls.
Give it up. And here's another foul given up by Wilson. Now he's up against LA Tenorio.
And that now will put Barangay Ginebra in the penalty. So for the final 8.7, they will have to play honest defense. De La Cruz to Eman. They go to Tenorio.
In the game.
4 seconds remaining. Here's Tenorio. Pass to Thos for a 3. Yes! Sonny Thos buries it at the buzzer.
And composure on the part of LA Tenorio to find the open man. Unbelievable.
Yung extra pass, akala ko magiging too late na, pero saktong-sakto pa rin.
It's called execution. That's what Alaska is known for. The precise execution. Watch the way he went up for that shot, made sure that he was at 3-point distance.
Oh, nag-step back pa, no?
Yeah.
Just to make sure. So the Alaska Aces finishing in style here in the first quarter. They are just within 6.
It was our turn the last game, and now it's our turn. I mean, now it's their turn. Just because we had this time and now it's our turn, now it's their time. You gotta make sure you don't buy into that. Make sure you understand also, though, and be aware that the level at which we played last game ain't going to be good enough this time. Ain't going to be good enough now this time. So, but there's going to be times in the game that you're not going to be able to get what you want. There's going to be times in the game that you're going to run, just like last game. You guys have got to continue to keep your poise. And we talked about that from the beginning. Keeping your poise, keeping mentally strong. We had to do that last game. We're going to do it doubly this time. Doubly this time around.
And poise, something that they definitely kept during that last sequence.
Well, you know, just thinking about what Tim Cohn said in that pre-game huddle, he was basically saying that they didn't play a good game because they were out-rebounded statistically. I mean, there were many things that Ginebra did much better than Alaska, but they won the game. And so Coach Tim Cohn was just reminding his players that they have to play much harder and better than game number 1 to win this one.
Brandon Cablay starting things off here in the second quarter at the 2 spot. Joining him is LA Tenorio, Sonny Thos, Sam Eman, and Tony De La Cruz. For Barangay Ginebra, we see Mark the Spark Kagiwa, who just launched the shot, Enrico Villanueva, Rudy Hatfield, JC Intal, and Mike Cortez.
Now that massive front line of Alaska making sure that they are respectable off the boards with Eman and Thos playing together.
LA Tenorio trying to dial it up from distance. Doesn't get that one to go. Here's Mike Cortez over to Intal. JC may just be the X factor for this series, or this game at least. Cortez over to Kagiwa. They try and attack down low. Enrico, kick out. Intal for a 3. Nope. Thos collars it. LA Tenorio surveys the floor as they try and execute in the half court. Thos anchoring that at the post. They go out with 5 on the shot clock. Kagiwa with that board. So it's 31-27 right now. Basing on how it's been going, Mike Cortez with